Look at me. I'm a filmmaker. Hi, my name is Anna Clary. I'm the writer and director of Perfect Words, and I'm here today in memory of Giuseppe. Giuseppe was a cherished friend who was in my life for too short a period. I would like to take credit for making him who he was. The essence that he brought on screen is unmatched. Ashley could only dream of touching him. This was no easy role. To play a dead horse is to be a dead horse. That role broke him. I'm so sorry. Yeah, my name is Anna Clary, and I'm here to talk about my dead horse. Perfect Words is my short film about a dying knight struggling to complete one final letter. It's a very gay story. It's a story I'm very proud of. I'll be doing a series of BTS pieces. I want to talk about Giuseppe, the horse, if that wasn't clear. I want to talk about the miniature because honestly that was my favorite piece to build for Perfect Words. It was such a good time. It would be such an awesome video. We'll talk about the armor, the wardrobe, among other things. And I want to talk about the sound design, Foley, music, editing in general. So welcome to episode 1, The Horse. The horse is not an important part of this story, but he is important in getting the main character where she needed to be, and I realized I so could have easily written him out and figured out some other easier way to get her immobile, but I have a problem. I greatly enjoy challenging myself, and I really wanted to see if I could build a dead horse. And I mean, what a visual too. Like it's cool. It's so freaking cool. Had I built a dead horse before? Only 7 times. No. And it didn't seem like anyone else on the internet had ever built a dead horse before either. So I feel like a pioneer. I feel like this is missing information on the internet and I am here to provide. So let's talk about building Giuseppe. I love working with PVC pipe. It's cheap, it's lightweight, it's like adult Legos. Oh, this is giving me PTSD. So I knew pretty early on that it made sense to make his skeleton out of PVC pipe, but I was struggling trying to figure out how to bend PVC pipe so he didn't end up looking like a boxy horse. I took a picture of a horse off the internet, drew up a diagram kind of where I needed to have PVC joints, and then scoured the internet to figure out how to bend PVC pipe, and found a method that worked best for me, that seemed easiest and the least dangerous. I heated up sand in a skillet to a ridiculous degree, funnel it down into the pipe, wait about 30 or 40 seconds, and it's magical. The pipe becomes like a noodle, and it just bends to your will, and honestly, it never got old. Then you pour all the sand out, run some cold water over it, and it hardens right back into place. It's kind of amazing. So I built his skeleton over the course of a week or 2, I think. He lived in my garage, poor thing. Decided to wrap the whole thing in chicken wire to give it a bit more structure. Still have to put chicken wire in his butt. It's a sentence you never thought you would say. But I love him with all of my heart. And then I went on the search for rugs. I searched high and low to find a rug that would be cheap and that would resemble horse hide enough. And such a thing does not exist. So I had a friend recommend a store to me of like overstock furniture, and they have some faux cowhide rugs. And I went back to this place like 4 or 5 times over the course of a few months to try to find, they kept restocking, and I tried to find a pattern that didn't look like a cow. And I finally found one, and it was like $120, I think. Not too bad. It's fine. It was smaller than I anticipated it being, so I cut it down the middle, knowing that the blanket and the saddle would take up space in the middle of the horse, and I still feel like I barely had enough rug. I covered the chicken wire in some blankets to have something to sew the rug to, but also to make sure that the chicken wire pattern didn't show through the rug. Then I had no idea how to get his skin tight around his body. Honestly, I was at a major loss. I have no idea how to do this. And it got to a point of procrastinating until one day I decided just to try. So I started sewing him up. But kept coming up with all of these pockets of like saggy skin. So I had to cut some of that excess off and sew it back up. And let me tell you, if this needed to be a clean, pristine looking body of a horse, I would have failed. But lucky for me, he needed to be dirty. He needed to be covered in mud. He had been through a battle, right? So I got to use that excuse of covering up like the seams with mud. And I feel like I just kind of barely got away with it. I bought the blanket at a Goodwill. I bought a used saddle off of someone on Craigslist. And then I bought the saddlebag off of Etsy. The tail and the mane were these 2 black wigs that I got off of Amazon. The cheapest and the longest that I could find, and they did just fine. All in all, Giuseppe probably ran me about $300, which is not bad at all. I would do it again. I would pay for it again. I really do not have a desire to ever be a taxidermist, ever again. But it is going on my resume. Then we took him to the location, built the wall around him, and honestly, that's when he started looking like a horse. That's when the magic started setting in. I don't know what to say. It's happening tomorrow. I'm so excited to see it on camera tomorrow. Very, very happy and very, very proud. I think it also helps that he is a bit of a background prop. Like, I knew there was never going to be a shot of the horse, that he was going to be in shots, but he was never going to be the focus of any of the shots. That helped a lot as well. And man, right after, we spent one day filming, and the next day I went and picked him up out of the field, and he just fell apart in my arms. He said, "Anna, I served my purpose. I'm tired. I'm done." He I picked him up and he cracked in 3 places. It broke my heart. It kind of never gets easier to sink so many hours into making something. And even though it served its purpose, when the moment comes to get rid of it, it's really hard. Naming him didn't help. I miss him. This is all that's left of him. So that is the story of my good friend Giuseppe. Perfect Words was such, is it weird to say romantic experience? Yeah, it is. Perfect Words was such a learning experience. I've made props before, but never to this degree, never to this size, and also never to this authenticity. He is immortalized now, and we can all rest a little easier knowing that. Thank you for joining me. I hope to see you on the next one.